So there's been some controversy within Tower Defense Simulator because a lot of people are buying the plushies, as you can see here, and they are saying they didn't get the skin in the Roblox game for Tower Defense Simulator. And this person claims that this person did buy within Roblox because, in case you didn't know, if you buy any of the plushies, so for example if you buy the Umbria mini plush inside of the Paradoxum Games store, then you do not get the item. So if I were to go to the Paradoxum Games store and then go into a plush and then go into the Umbria plush here, you'll notice that yes, it's going for $27 and it says that it will be I would get a code for it. However, if I buy it through the Paradoxum Games store, I actually don't get the code. This only gets an in-game code if you buy it through Roblox, and the developers have now added a warning here saying only purchases made directly on Roblox come with the in-game code, whereas previously it didn't say that. Well, it did say that, but you had to go through the details and go here. The in-game reward is only included in purchases made in Roblox. Items purchased from shop.paradoxum games does not include an in-game reward. I would like to think that this has been applied to every single product that comes with an in-game code in the store, but I can't confirm that. Well, I can really confirm that actually. It looks like all of them have been done, but I wonder if I were to go into, like, say, accessories and then go to the pin, would it say that? No. So it only does it for stuff that actually does grant code. For stuff like, I don't know, the Pyromancer pin, when people aren't even buying too much of it, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, and 1 day ago, yeah, it's fair enough, because obviously these don't give it. What about these? Yeah, okay, these ones do say that as well, so fair enough. And the developers, to their credit, have updated the descriptions for these items that say the in-game reward is only included for purchases made in Roblox. They don't say, actually, however, how it's limited to the fact that only the players from the United States of America can actually purchase through Roblox. And in fact, right now, it's been disabled. Now, I actually released my videos out of order because, well, 2 days ago, you could actually buy the plushie store items. So you could buy it, you couldn't buy it from Friday. You could buy it sometime late on Saturday, but then on Sunday, today, you can't actually buy it anymore. This is because of the aforementioned issue where people were buying the plushie items within Roblox, apparently, and it's not just that wiki post that said that or claimed that. There were many people on Discord saying that they tried to buy the Roblox item, and in fact they did buy the Roblox item, but they didn't get the skin, nor did they wait, or nor did they even get the skin 24 hours after they bought the item. Now, according to Out of Bears, he says that it should be instantaneous, aka if you buy the plushie item, then you should instantly get the coded skin that it comes for. Now, do bear in mind that the only reason why that this is America only is due to Roblox policies. So as you can see here, is eligible to purchase commercial products. When true, the player is eligible to purchase commercial products within an experience, and the only place where this is true is the United States of America, as seen here in this documentation. At this time, only US-based players can purchase commerce products. Participating users must also meet the following requirements. Must be 13 years of age except Texas and 18 years of age except Texas. You can verify user eligibility using policy service So, not exactly the developer's fault. I'd be sure that the developers would want to sell these items to more countries. In fact, they do on their store. It's just that they're not allowed to by Roblox, meaning that the only people to get these skins are from the United States of America. However, the main criticism towards the developers is the fact that they're being advertised with a free in-game skin with purchase when it doesn't exactly do this. And in fact, if we go check the store right now, it is non-existent because the developers have had to disable it because it wasn't giving out the plushie codes. If you check like all of the comments about plushies in Tower Defense Simulator Discord, you'll notice that even the people who were from the United States of America were saying that they weren't getting all of the codes for all of their purchases, and it's been like 24 hours since some purchases were made, so it does look like as if the reason why the developers disabled the merch store in Tower Defense Simulator is because codes, or well, the skins itself actually, weren't being, quote, immediately handed out towards players. And in fact, it looks like they weren't handed out to players at all. There's been some speculation that the plushie has to be delivered first before they actually get the code. But I'm not sure how Roblox can track the fact when the plushies are being delivered and if, like, for example, the plushies aren't being refunded. I'd assume that maybe there is some cooldown period where you could actually refund it and the code is revoked, but I would assume that the Roblox API could detect if the order itself failed, like payment declined, or was even refunded by the original purchaser, so that they could just reverse the virtual item and that you don't get the skin anymore. But I don't know if it's smart enough to do that, or it has to wait like a week or so for you to get the item. But again, I think in the past for Roblox games it has been instantaneous, so I'm not sure where the developers have fucked up here. By the way, there is no time frame for when these plushie codes would return to Tower Defense Simulator. I say plushie codes because that was the original method of distribution for the virtual items, but it's just attached to your account. So it's not like you can gift plushie codes to like other people anymore, like it was the case when you bought like multiple plushies. There is no reason for many people to buy multiple plushies anymore if they want the virtual item, because the virtual item is just attached to your Roblox account. But I guess with duplicate skins coming in the future, there could be a case when, like, plushie skins could be traded. Well, I don't think trading ever is going to come to Tower Defense Simulator, but there could be the case where duplicate plushie skins could actually have some utility in Tower Defense Simulator. In addition to this, actually, some of the plushies have been relatively popular. The first one to actually sell out was I think Patient Zero mini plush was the first to sell out. It was like quick. After I made my video about the plushies, it was the first one to go, and then all of a sudden the Mecha Bunny Nerd Duck was also gone as well. And then after that, the Golden Minigunner plush was next to go. I do believe it was being sold quite recently. In fact, yeah, a day ago you can see people were buying it, but is now being sold out, even though it still has like 42 days left. So for some reason, the Patient Zero mini plush was first to sell out, then the Mecha Bunny plus Nerd Ducky mini plush, and then the Golden Minigunner plush. Actually, it probably makes sense why Patient Zero was the first to sell out, because it was the cheapest, and then the Mecha Bunny. But like all of these other plushies, they still have like relative stock, apparently. Even the Umbria mini plush, even though I think the developers have accounted for the fact that the Umbria mini plush is one of the most popular mini plushes, so people would buy it, so they have a lot of stock for it. But given the fact that you don't even get a code for this, how popular is it? Well, actually, people are buying it relatively frequently, as you can see here. 38 minutes ago, 44 minutes ago, 49 minutes ago, an hour ago, and relatively speaking, these are pretty accurate. Now, I also do believe that it only shows your purchases if you buy it from the Paradoxum Games store itself. It doesn't show it if you buy through Roblox, although I can't really confirm that. So it does look like people, even without the code, people are buying the plushies, which may surprise some people given the fact that it's always been like a dogma that people only buy plushies for the codes, whereas it's not really the case. I bought these 3 plushies without the code just because I'm a reviewer, but whatever. I probably would buy it anyways, but it is relatively quite expensive, and yeah, people are buying it like 12 hours ago, 14 hours ago, 16 hours ago, and then when it comes to the mini plushies, like 3 hours ago, 1 hour ago, 3 hours ago, 48 minutes ago, stuff like that. People are purchasing it still, but it's probably not as popular as the developers hoped it would be when it came to the codes, because the codes are broken. Even if you live in America, because you can't access the plushie store, it's broken. Well, you can't get the code anyways, actually. And even if you did buy these plushies, it doesn't look like you get the codes, and I don't think the developers are going to reimburse you for it. As for when these items will go back on sale so that you can actually get the skin itself, I'm not sure. In fact, I mean, given the recent drama when it comes to plushie purchases, it does mean that anyone who recently bought the Patient Zero mini plush, Mecha Bunny Nerdy Duck mini plush, and the Golden Minigunner plush, they didn't actually get their respective skins, which seems, again, a little bit like a scam. By the way, for anyone who wants to know what the merch shop actually looks like, it looks like this. You get the mini plush plus a free skin, Umbria Commander skin, and because it's stated to be a free skin, I don't think the developers are on the hook if this virtual item isn't given out. But it looks like this, and it's the same price, actually, as the product is on the shop.paradoxum Games, so many people were pointing out the fact that this is basically a scam if you're advertising an in-game skin on the Juniper Creates website, but it doesn't give it out. I don't know why. And then here is Outer Bears confirming that the merch store is disabled, turned it off for a bit, will be re-enabled soon. Soon? I don't know. Probably when they fix the issues of the skins not being actually given out. By the way, I've also seen people claim that a VPN doesn't work for these purchases with plushies on Roblox. It's true. I think you have to be like a regular player on American servers to actually be considered an American player. So I think a fresh account on a VPN might get away with that. But if you purchase it through like the App Store in like say France and then use a VPN to trick the store into thinking you're in America, then I don't think that's going to work. Now I've also seen some people say that the plushie skins or the skins that come from the actual items, because not all of them are plushie skins. So for example, the Mecha Bunny Cowboy is considered to be a merch shop item attached to a real life product, but it's not a plushie skin because it doesn't have the typical appearance of a plushie skin. So for example, the Commander is a plushie skin because it runs at 12 frames per second, but the Mecha Bunny Cowboy does not. There's been some suggestions by some people, not any of the developers, but from like random players, that the developers should convert over these skins into like a Robux or like legendary skins that you can buy for a high amount of Robux. The only problem is I don't think the developers are ever going to do this. The only reason why these virtual skins are attached to a product is because they want to sell the product itself and not the virtual item. Could you imagine if the developers start trying to sell these skins for actual life money? With shipping, I think the Mecha Bunny Cowboy costs around £60, which in American terms is about $70. I don't think anyone's going to be using $70 just to buy a skin. Some people probably are willing to spend $70 to get a skin, but I want the actual product as well as the virtual item. And to market these skins for like $70, I don't think it's going to go down well. Like, the equivalent of that in Robux is about 100,000 Robux. And there's no way anyone's buying 100,000 Robux just to get the Mecha Bunny Cowboy skin. So, like, some people suggested that they can sell it for like 800 Robux, even 1,000 Robux. But the developers are never going to do that because they want to be attached to an actual product. So not only do they get money from selling the products, but they get it from people wanting the virtual item who are indifferent about getting the actual product itself as well. But again, that's just a way, I guess, for some people to suggest a way around the US global restriction, but it's, unless Roblox does something about it, I don't think anyone outside of the United States of America is going to get any more plushie skins or skins that are attached to a real life product. And then in one final bit of news, someone actually did triumph the hidden wave in Tower Defense Simulator. And can you guess the amount of gems that they got from that? It's 0. The hidden wave in Midnight Issue does not give any gems whatsoever. The reason why is because each map difficulty has their own rewards when it comes to the hidden wave. Very easy gives out 50, easy gives out 75, normal gives out 100, hard gives out 125, and insane gives out 150. However, the developers, when they were coding for the medium map difficulty, they forgot to add a hidden wave reward to it. Hence why you still get 250 XP because that is the standard reward for the hidden wave, but you get 0 gems because the developers forgot to include it in the gem count. So, developers, are you going to fix this?